And when your wife died, that didn't actually set you up for, I guess, if it can be a success at all for anyone. Of course, it's very difficult. But how did you deal with that? I mean, I guess the question I've got is like, what is it like to know that your wife is going to die?
Yeah, well, look, you talk about those stages of grief, and there was a lot of denial there. Well, yeah, I know that's what the diagnosis is, but one day at a time, and these things can go on for a long period, and let's not worry about what might happen in the future, and really sort of just keep that elephant in the room tucked in the corner somewhere and crack on like I've always done. I think that's what my intention was to begin with, and obviously take some time off work and etc. But I think over the period of the year or so after a diagnosis, I think a few things happened. Number one, Ruth really felt like for her to enjoy the rest of the time she had on this earth, she had to prepare me and the boys for what was to come, and that meant us going to see a counsellor, this amazing woman, Jenny Thomas, who really facilitated those really very tough conversations you have to have, firstly between Ruth and I, and then between us and the kids as well. And then also, once that dialogue started, it allowed both of us to talk a bit more freely about how we were feeling. And of course, as we got to the back end of Ruth's life, there was a ramping up, the dial sort of ramped up in terms of the emotional element. And that was, as sad as it was and as difficult as it was also, there was some really special stuff there around us both understanding and appreciating what's important, what's not important, maybe communicating more effectively together, being more open and honest with each other, and both wanting to, in what Ruth's words, do death well. And so that was the focus for us. And, when she did die in December 2018, I feel like we were kind of mainly able to achieve that, however painful it was. And then that's one thing. And then there's, of course, the reality of two boys with their mum not around anymore, and me having to play mum and dad and trying to work out what this new chapter in our lives looked like. That was an incredibly tough time. But I think up to Ruth's death, it was more about just embracing and savouring the moment and staying in the present as much as we could.